Hello everyone, this is Aparna Bhat and welcome to my YouTube channel Abhijna Legal Maps. Abhijna Legal Maps is a YouTube channel specially dedicated for those students who want to understand the legal topics in English. So, this is a YouTube channel wholly dedicated for South Indian students, so that basically my language is, my mother tongue is Kannada, but we can connect to other South Indian students and the rest of the Indian students who are Indian law students who are aspiring for judiciary examinations. For them, this channel is dedicated to. So, let us begin with the today's topic. The topic is regarding which all new sections have been added to Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, because earlier in Indian Penal Code there was sections, the sections have been modified accordingly, but moreover some additional sections have been added. We can call them as sections, or additional offences have been added. So, it is very important to understand which are the important sections for them. So, even Kerala judiciary examinations, we can see that they have added the new criminal law bills, the new criminal laws as part of the syllabus. That is why it is very important to understand the highlights, key changes and everything, right. So, beginning with the topic, I would like to say that there are about 20 new offences which have been additionally added. Okay. So, it does not mean all over throughout the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita only 20 sections have been changed. It does not mean like that. See, changes are in different types. Some have been repealed, some sections have been repealed, some offences have been repealed, some new addition sections have been introduced, and there are modifications in punishments. Some punishments, imprisonments have been increased up to 10 folds, and it means 10 times the punishment has been increased, maybe imprisonment or fine. Or some in the place of normal documents, electronic records, electronic communications have been added. So, these are many changes we can find it in the throughout Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, or it could be Bharatiya Nagarika Suraksha Samhita. But today we are discussing those such new offences which were not earlier there in IPC, but which have been introduced as a new concept. Okay. So, let us begin with the class today. The first definition which has been added, okay, child, the meaning of child, that is a new definition which we can see. It is an entirely new provision, section 2(3), which says that child means any person below the age of 18 years. So, this is one more section which we can see. Second is section 4(f), it prescribes punishment, community service as a new form of punishment. Earlier 5 kinds of punishments were there: death, imprisonment for life, imprisonment which is rigorous, or imprisonment which is simple, then forfeiture of property, fine. Okay. The later the new type of punishment which has been added is, that is in section 4(f), that is community service, right. Next one is section 48. Section 48 pertains to abatement outside India for offence in India. So, this is a new provision, because earlier in IPC we had abatement inside India for offences outside India. So, even that section is there in section 47, but in addition to that, section 48 made such abatements. So, if a person is residing outside India and still is abating the offences in India, then that would be an abatement. So, we can see that abates an offence who without and beyond India. So, that means he is residing outside India, we can say. Then section 69. Section 69 speaks regarding sexual intercourse by employing deceitful means. So, this is the most controversial section we can say, which has been in discussion since some time. So, it says that if a person is having sexual intercourse by employing some deceitful means. So, deceitful means it could be false promise of employment, false promise of promotion or marriage or anything. Okay. So, such kind of sexual intercourse may not amount to rape, but it is an offence which is punishable up to 10 years. That is section 69, a new section. Then section 95. Here we can see hiring, employing or engaging a child to commit an offence. So, if any child is employed, okay, to commit another offence, so then even that is an punishment. And section 96 is procuration of child. If a child is been procured for committing illicit sexual intercourse, then that is again an offence. Section 103(2). So, this we can connect it to mob lynching. Although the word mob lynching has not been prescribed, murder provisions were there, but a new provision where 5 or more persons, they on the basis of race, caste, community, sex, place of birth, language, personal belief, etc., if they commit a murder, then that would be an offence which is punishable for imprisonment for life or death also. Likewise, in this place, if he commits grievous hurt also, it would be a punishable offence. That has been included. Okay, I'll discuss that in a later point of time. But so on the basis of any of these grounds, race, caste, so if minimum or a group of 5 or more persons, if they commit murder, then this section is attracted. If they commit grievous hurt, then there is another section which should be attracted. Even that is a new provision. So, this is section 103(2) which speaks regarding that. Then section 106(2) causing death by negligence. So, causing death by negligence was there, but subsection 2, what does it say? If a person escapes from that particular incident, from the place of incident without reporting to the police or a magistrate, then that is a punishable offence which is punishable up to 10 years. So, this was again in question, and many discussions were there. That is why IPC is getting repealed, and Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, that is it's going to be effective since July 1st, except section 106(2). So, this is not going to be effective since section 100 since July 1st 2024. Okay, so only this section will be in abeyance. Rest of the sections of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita will be effective from July 1st 2024. So, remember this. Yet another notification has to be notified for making this offence as an effective one. But you can say, you can write it in your examination saying that this has been included, but this is not yet in force. Next one is section 111, organized crime. So, 3 more sections, 111, 112, 113. It speaks regarding organized crime, petty organized crime and terrorist act. These 3 new offences have been included. Organized crime refers to such offences like they have given a list of such offences. Okay, it could be kidnapping, robbery, economic offences, cyber crimes, traffics, drugs, weapons, etc. So, in committing that, there is a systematic method, there is an organization or a syndicate is there which are working in an organized manner. Okay. So, such offences can be called as organized crime. And the same section 112, the next section, it speaks regarding petty organized crimes. It means which are minimal in nature, but still they are crime, which are conducted in a very organized manner. Then we can give the examples as theft, snatching, cheating, unauthorized selling of tickets, unauthorized betting or gambling, selling of public examination question papers. So, these kind of criminal acts, they come under petty organized crimes. And the another section, very important section which has been included under section 113 is terrorist act. So, what do you mean by terrorist act? So, it is something which is likely to threaten the integrity, sovereignty, security, economic security of India, and which is creating a terror in the minds of the people. It is striking a terror in the people. Then that itself is a terrorist act. So, it is quite a lengthy section. Then section 117, 3, 4. What does this say? It speaks regarding voluntarily causing grievous hurt. Voluntary causing grievous hurt was earlier an offence in IPC also, but in that, in the category of voluntary causing grievous hurt, 2 more types have been added. One, if persistent vegetative state, if a person is getting hurt due to which he is in the persistent vegetative state, then that would be an offence. And earlier I had told you, right, in case of mob lynching, minimum 5 persons on the grounds of race, caste, community and all, if they are going to hurt a person, if they would have murdered, it would be mob lynching under 103(2). But in this case, it would be grievous hurt. So, what will happen? This is a voluntary causing grievous hurt. Then section 152. Earlier there was sedition, 124A. Now The present act does not have sedition, but in place of that we have a new offence, that is act endangering sovereignty, unity and or act endangering sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. Okay, that is section 152. So, we can see if any person by words, spoken or written, or a visual representation, electronic communication, so whatever they do, so their act is endangering the unity and integrity of India, then we can say that it's an offence coming under section 152. Then coming to section 195 subsection 2. So, this is obstructing the public servant, but when a public servant is doing his duty and in doing his duty while suppressing a riot or affray, if that public servant is he is restrained, then that is an offence. Okay. Earlier this was not specifically mentioned, but now while public servant is suppressing any riot or affray and in doing such duty he is being obstructed, then that itself is an offence under 195(1), 1 and 2. Then section 197(1)(d), it speaks regarding imputations, assertions, if anything which is made or which is published which is prejudicial to national integration. So, whatever is affecting the national integration, it could be in different forms, spoken, written, publication, belonging to like different members of religious, racial, language, in different categories also. If such imputations are made, then if it is affecting the national integrity of India, that itself is an offence. Then coming to section 226, attempt to commit suicide to compel or restrain exercise of lawful power. So, what does this mean? If a person is committing suicide, he is attempting to commit suicide, IPC it was an offence under section 309, but that section has been repealed. Presently, we have section 226 which says that attempt to commit suicide to compel or restrain exercise of lawful power. So, if a public servant is there and if whatever he is doing, his performing his duty, in order to restrain him, another person is attempting to commit suicide. So, for all attempts to commit suicide, we cannot classify them as offences under new Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, but only if a person attempts to commit suicide to compel or restrain excess of lawful power, then that would be an offence. Okay. Then section 304. So, this is kind of a theft, it comes under the heading of theft, snatching, but earlier this was not a specific to theft or extortion, there was some confusion. So, a new separate section only has been created and says that theft is snatching. If in order to commit theft, the offender suddenly or quickly forcibly seizes, if he does that, then that is an offence, they say, right. Next section 324(3), that is mischief. Even mischief was there, but a new category of mischief has been added, where it says if any loss or damage occurs to government property or local authorities property, then that would be a mischief. So, a new specific category has been included. Then section 341 subsection 3 and 4, even they speak regarding counterfeiting seals in order to commit forgery. If seals are counterfeited, duplicated, okay, in order to create deception, then that would be an offence. So, both section 3 and section 4 speaks regarding that. And the last section, that is section 358, that is repeal and savings. It says that IPC is repealed, the Indian Penal Code is hereby repealed, but the existing provisions relating to investigation or whatever proceedings which are under IPC, it remains same, it does not affect. So, that is the meaning of section 358. So, these are about 20 sections which we have dealt, and I would also want to tell you that in Kannada I am conducting a class. We have a separate website, that is www.abhijnalawseries.in. You can refer to that. There we have different courses. Okay. So, the books are there. So, books are available to everyone. It is in English. So, anyone can purchase. This is also available in Amazon as well. Few more books will be added in future, not only CPC, regarding all important subjects relating to judiciary examination like constitution, the new BNS and IPC comparison. It will be added in a very short period of time. So, if you are interested, do visit this website once, or you can also download Abhijna Law Series app in Google Play Store. iPhone users, they have a separate procedure. For that, you can contact this number which is appearing on the screen, 9036201870. If you are an iPhone user, then definitely you also can download the app, provided some procedure has to be followed, which will be we will let you know if you contact us. So, if you have any sorts of doubts regarding this or any suggestions, definitely you are free to give such suggestions. So, please comment in the YouTube, in the present YouTube, and I would also be giving YouTube links, different access courses links in the description of this video. Do check it out, and we have a separate Abhijna Law Legal Maps Telegram channel. We have a YouTube channel, and we also have WhatsApp channel. You can also join those social media platforms to get regular updates. This is all what I wanted to say. So, I would be signing off. If you like this video, then do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. This is what I wanted to say. So, thank you all of you. Take care. Bye bye. See you in my next video.